Well, this is Baruch Fleischman. I'm here at the Tikkun Elevator Kolo. This is a picture of Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran taken a few years back. I think he's a lot more white now, but I haven't seen him physically in a while. He used to come to Boca Raton as his parents were living nearby. Don't know what the situation is here, but let's read some more of this tremendous book. This is really the KABBALAH of mind control. To understand what is the difference between you and your mind, because normally we're thinking that it's one and the same thing. And that's not true. That's what he wants to point out. So he says, this is a quote from the Tzlach. He says, "We are likened to a ladder which stands on the earth and its head reaching to the heavens. This is through the root of our soul from a very, very high place. And through this, we can rise up and go closer from one level to the next, each person in according with his refinement and righteousness. Within these higher worlds, we go up and down in accordance with our deeds." Now, this is a concept we see other places of the balance scale, according to our deeds. If good, then we go up. Now, up also means in Kabbalah going in other words, closer to the Ein Sof, which is within all things. And if God forbid the opposite, then we descend into total physicality, and our mind and our thought processes become us. The holy Eitz Chaim, the beginning of Shari Gulim V'Yosher, so the Eitz Chaim is the ultimate work of the Ariya Kodesh. And at the beginning of it's right at the beginning of the Shari Gulim V'Yosher, which is balls and straight lines, states that in the timeless realm where God dwells, and the essence of everything that ever has been and ever will be, past, present, and future. Now listen to this again. That area which is so pneumistic, so inside, so close to the reality within all things, that all of these things, be past, present, and future, all exist simultaneously in an unmanifested state of oneness and perfection. Time, physicality, all exist in Pneumus as one, totally beyond anything the human mind can ever imagine or comprehend. As is written, no human mortal has ever seen the world to come. And this is the Hebrew phrase, ayin lo ra'asa, no eye is able to see it. This is where time does not exist. Whereas in our world of seemingly separate forms, everything is separated, timeless perfection is an inconceivable concept. Here, even the soul, which is the light emanating from the eternal source, that is the neshama, which is in all living things and particularly manifest in human beings, emanated from the eternal source, is nearly imperceptible due to our limited perception. As it is known from the Kabbalah, everything that exists has a soul, a God essence, and therefore has some degree of consciousness. Even a stone has rudimentary consciousness and purpose. Otherwise it would not be, and its atoms and molecules would disperse. Everything is alive. So in other words, in regards to what he says is the purpose, that purpose came before the rock. So all of them have some area of which they are connected. It would not be, and its atoms and molecules would disperse if it didn't have a reason, a purpose. Everything is alive. The sun, earth, stars, plants, animals, humans. All are expressions of levels of consciousness in varying degrees. Consciousness of the soul manifesting as form. Now, let's look at this again. He says the consciousness of the soul can be manifest. Manifest means they appear as a form. Therefore, the entire universe and all that is in it comes alive when pure God energy transmutes into these shapes and material forms. Look at the millions of life forms on this planet alone, in the sea, on land, in the air, and then each life from its replicated form, read it again, and then each life form is replicated millions of times. To what end? In the sea, most life forms don't survive for more than a few minutes after being born. The human form turns to dust pretty quickly, too. And when it is gone, it is as if it had never been. Is that tragic? Is that tragic or cruel? Only if you create a separate identity for each form, if you forget that its consciousness is God's essence, that inside of it, inside and built around it is what we see. We see what is manifest from it. There is a certain DNA that is in every single object that allows it to be manifest in its form. If you forget that its consciousness is God's essence expressing itself in form, this is what we need to know. This really cannot be internalized fully until you realize your own soul essence as pure godliness. This is Baruch Fleischman listening to Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.